Welcome back to the channel, and today we will be taking a look at Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero and seeing how it stacks up against its 17-year-old predecessor, Tenkaichi 3, in terms of design, moveset, and how it feels to play them in their respective games. Now it's worth mentioning that I am emulating the PS2 with some upscaling being done to improve the quality, but for the most part, this was the experience from back then, because you couldn't tell me it didn't look this good back in its 480p glory. But enough about that. Let's actually get into the man himself, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Right off the bat, you can see that Sparking Zero's model is much more vibrant and goes along with the way that Dragon Ball characters are portrayed in the modern media. Now, given that Super Saiyan 4 Goku was originally designed with that angular, more serious feel of Z and GT in mind, I think that this model lends himself pretty well to the shinier, rounded look while still maintaining his intimidation factor. Outside of brightening him up and rounding him out a bit, they did give his tail some more length, which I think is a welcome change even if the tail doesn't do anything. I think the short, thick tail doesn't really help the design in Tenkaichi 3. It just kind of feels like it's slapped on there, while in Sparking Zero, it looks like it has some functionality and actually belongs to Goku on it. Now, one thing I didn't appreciate in Sparking Zero's take is the hair. I prefer the highlights on Tenkaichi 3's model, and that really gave his hair some definition opposed to the ferrofluid-like blob on the Sparking model's head. Now in battle, it doesn't look that bad because it gets lit from all the different blasts being thrown around, as well as the outline around Goku when he's charging ki or doing supers. And while that does help, it still lacks some of the definition that could have helped keep his more intense feel that Tenkaichi 3 nailed perfect. In addition to Super Saiyan 4 Goku himself, the entire moveset has also made its way into Sparking Zero, and it's kind of been turned up to 10, almost. He retains the blast skills instant transmission, which works the same as it did previously, and I'll beat you in 5 seconds, which is renamed to all I need is 5 seconds, but he still says the line, "You down.
I'll beat you in 5 seconds."
And this skill also works how it did previously, giving you a boost in attributes mid-battle. Moving on to his supers, there are only 2 major differences here between the 2 games. While the 10 times Kamehameha has no changes, the Meteor Crash gets a different look and a different finish.
No use!
In Tenkaichi 3, Goku takes a more animalistic approach by dealing a barrage of punches, ending with a really hard punch, knocking the opponent down, while Sparking Zero opts for less hits with more impact per hit and ending with a ki blast for that hard knockdown, which gives Goku the opportunity for a cool pose and a pretty cool shot in my opinion. Now, recency bias aside, I think I do prefer Sparking Zero's version of this move. Visually, I prefer what he does in relation to this move being called Meteor Crash. Now, Tenkaichi 3's doesn't give off, Meteor Crash to me, given that it's a lot of hits. I feel like a Meteor Crash is something really impactful, which I think this move gets, it gets that across really well in less hits. Now, speaking of impact, that is something that is heavily debated, within the community about this game, and I feel like Tenkaichi 3, with the help of amazing sound design and screen shakes and much more, delivers more impact consistently across the whole game. Now, sonically and visually, Sparking sometimes lacks some of that oomph, but it makes up for it with how the controller vibrates and honestly the particle effects. Like, you feel like something's happening, but not in the same way that you feel it in Tenkaichi 3. Now, note, I am using the DualSense. The vibrations on that it's crazy. So while Meteor Crash does have impact, it's only for that move because I want to get into the ultimate, which is Dragon Fist. It's very similar between the 2 games up until the ending. In Tenkaichi 3, we get to see the dragon go down into the opponent with the screen shakes, the sound going crazy, and it feels like Goku just punched him with the power of a dragon. Sparking goes in a completely different direction, showing the opponent's face, and then the dragon just dissipates. Now, I think that this was due to the direction for ultimates in this game being super cinematic, but I personally feel that showing the dragon go through the opponent gets the move over more than the opponent being overwhelmed by the move and getting that cliche cut to their face before they fade away in the blast.
You've had it. And I've got you. Dragon Blast!
Now, none of this matters if I don't talk about how it all comes together in action. Now, maybe I'm looking at Tenkaichi 3 with some type of nostalgia lenses or something, but it still holds up really well in my opinion. Goku looks really good in game, and he feels like what I think a Super Saiyan 4 should be. He moves really well, he's fast, he's strong, and he has the moveset that covers all the bases for being a great adaptation of the source material. Now, I'm not the best in the world at this game, nowhere near close, but I do think that some of that PS2 clunk is something that held me back even more. But given that this game is 17 years old, the fact that it's still, it's still up there for me, I feel like it's a perfect representation of what Dragon Ball Z and GT is. It's amazing. Now, Sparking does most, if not everything that Tenkaichi 3 does aside from the impact, but does it smoother. Now, there wasn't once where I felt like the fights didn't flow or anything didn't feel natural. I felt like in terms of the game feel, this is the best that Super Saiyan 4 Goku has ever felt. You can end matches quick with him and feel like you are the Super Saiyan 4. And that's props to Bandai for making the characters, feel like who they are. All in all, I think I still give Tenkaichi 3 the slightest edge over Sparking Zero for their adaptation of the character. Sparking Zero did have some things that I liked overall, including the feel and some of the changes to the model, but I feel like Tenkaichi 3, like, that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And they got him in two categories. It's two specific categories that got it for me. It's the aesthetic and the ultimate. Tenkaichi 3 Goku looks right out of that Z and GT era. Like, it's warmer in feeling. He looks super serious. He's super intimidating. I think the vibrance of Sparking kind of takes away that. The lighting is weird. And how smooth the game is actually kind of takes away from it for me. I feel like it lends itself, better to somebody with finesse like Vegito or something like that. That's just my take though. But that's all for today. Like and subscribe for more videos like this and comment who you want to see me compare next. And until next time, peace.